Welcome to Cafe Grit. My name is Beth Anne Campbell, and I am the author of Where the Hell is My Bacon?, a book about a corporate team that triumphed over shitty leadership with the help of fried pork. I open Cafe Grit as a place where you can join me in figuring out how to channel your grit and find your voice in the world, whatever that means for you. This is the place to go when you've got the hankering for purpose, the taste for fulfillment, and you're tired of living the rat race. Thanks for stopping in. Cafe Grit is now open for service. Hey everybody, welcome to Cafe Grit. I'm your host, Beth Anne Campbell. This is the place to go when you've got the hankering for purpose, the taste for fulfillment, and you're tired of living the rat race. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's been a little bit since I've done a long episode. I do have lots of shorts out there. Short. I also have shorts to wear shorts because it's summer right now. But I meant short videos out there. You can check them out on YouTube. I have my whole channel there, all of my Cafe Grit episodes, and just some other fun stuff that I don't put on the audio podcast stuff out there, like on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So check it out, YouTube. You can just search for Cafe Grit or check out my whole entire profile, which is The Bean with two N's at the end, TheBeann. That is an amalgam of Beth Anne, by the way. How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. I was, over the weekend, I was looking through some old notes in my writing file. I've written a lot over my life and have a lot of great ideas that have not yet come to fruition. And one of them is to write a sort of semi-fictional novel based on reality called The Project. And it would be about a project that I was involved with at one of my previous jobs. And I did find some notes that I took, and it's so funny because I password protected them because I was just so paranoid that someone would find these notes that I would put out there about some of our highly paid consultants that we were working with on this particular project. And this one guy, let's call him Rich. Rich was the lead for this particular big project, the lead for this big consulting firm for the area that I worked in, which was enterprise asset management, which is like work management, work orders, that kind of thing. And Rich would fall asleep in meetings all the time. Like, I'm not even joking, almost every day. And it became kind of a joke. And I had made a note that I had forgotten about this, but there was one time when Rich had fallen asleep in a meeting, and one of the company employees just had unwittingly kind of gave him a little nudge because the meeting was started. And Rich just viciously turned to this guy and said, "Don't you ever do that again." And I thought, wow, it was just weird because he was kind of a nice guy and sort of unassuming. But Rich was, Rich they have a protocol, right? Sometimes these big consulting firms, they have a protocol. And they brought to the table this template for a design specification that we were going to use. Now, the part that I was working on required like 40 different designs. And there was one very, very big one, which was kind of integration between these two systems. And I remember being in a meeting. It was a day-long workshop. We were talking about stuff, and Rich was leading this meeting, and he had pulled out this design spec template, which I had already seen and read. It was 14 pages long with data mapping. If you're in tech, you understand data mapping sometimes can be quite extensive. And Rich was talking about filling this thing out, and he said for this main design that would kind of, all of the other designs would sort of satellite around, he said he thought I could fill it out in a half an hour, maybe an hour tops. And this was right before lunch. So we broke, and I'm sitting on this and I'm thinking, it's going to take me a half an hour to fill out the contact information, like the basic information, like the title and the basic information of who's doing what. So I went home, let my dogs out, and I pondered it. And as I'm in the car on the way back, I'm like, no, I'm not going to not say something. This is ridiculous. It's not going to take an hour. So I came back to the room and I said, Rich, I'm going to counter your half an hour with 120 hours. And I think he almost shit his pants, as I almost did when he told me he thought I could fill it out in an hour tops. It was a good thing I didn't, because my mom was not there to do my laundry. Inside joke. Anyway, so Rich was, of course, very flabbergasted. This thing escalated. So that night I had to stay after. It was it's like a 7:30 meeting, 7:30 p.m. meeting. And the director of my area was there from the company. The head person from all of this consulting firm for the whole project was there, a bunch of people and executives. And they were just grilling me. And this head of the consulting firm was like, "This, you're estimating for one design spec what we would do for the entire project," or something to that effect. Well, I justified all of this stuff, and we ended up settling at 80 hours, which was still very much significantly more than a half an hour to an hour tops. P.S. It was actually more like 120. So thank you. Once again, no one listens to Beth Campbell, but you know what? I make a checkbox. Anyway, I'm not even here to talk about projects, although I probably could. I probably should just talk about, no, I don't want to talk about projects. I'm here to talk about having it all. And this applies to you. So if you've been listening to this and you're thinking, I don't even work in corporate, this doesn't apply to me. No, now we're going to talk about something that probably does apply to you. So a few weeks ago, a friend of mine was having a moment, as we all do, and she reached out to me in Facebook Messenger, and she said, basically, how do you do it all? She was just kind of having a moment, like she just wanted to crawl underneath the covers. And she was asking me, how do I manage all of this stuff? I've got 2 podcasts, and I do, social media, and I've got a full-time job, and I write books, or writing other books. But she was asking me, how do I do it all? Because apparently I was giving this some perception to the world that somehow I have it all together. And that is absolutely 100% not true. I do not have it all together. Trust me, I absolutely do not have, I barely have anything together some days. But it's just, people have this sort of imposter syndrome, or that inner voice in their head. Mine's name is Liz. Shut the fuck up, Liz. I tell her that a lot. And they see other people. It's that comparison syndrome where you perceive that someone has got it all together. And I should be if she thinks that I have it all together, this is a lesson for those of you who are looking out at people on social media, especially, but even in your world, your live world, where it just seems like they have these perfect lives and they're always putting out this wonderful stuff. I would almost guarantee that there's something going on in their background that they're just not sharing, because we tend to not share. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some people do tend to share only negative stuff, but most of us, we don't want the world to know we don't have it all together, because again, it's all this vicious circle. We see people out there seemingly like us, seemingly being able to keep up, do it all, and we struggle. And so therefore we assume that we are somehow lesser than them. And that's not the truth. So remember that whenever you see people out there who you think are running the world, the truth is they're probably not running the world. So my friend had this perception that somehow I had it all, and I found the time to do podcasts and social media and raising a dog and going to work and having a life. And the truth is that that's not true at all. I struggle just like everybody else. I struggle quite a bit. I hardly have time to do anything. This is the first podcast for Cafe Grit, the first full-length one that I've done in over a month. I've done some shorts, but the shorts I just kind of do off the cuff, and I do them, in packages, so that I can just have something to get out there that basically keep the social media gods happy. Because most of the time I'm struggling to find the time. I'm raising a dog. I do have a full-time job that sometimes gets very busy. I'm helping my uncle write a book, a very important book about some of his experiences. And that's kind of my priority now. I try to fit in my own writing, but I haven't written in my own books. I've got like so many ideas for books sitting out there. I've even mocked up covers for them. And I've not started most of them. I started one, I got about 2/3 of the way through a draft and then got sidetracked with life and dog and other stuff. So, and I don't have the time sometimes I just don't fucking want to be even on social media. So I sit at my desk for the whole day at my day job. And sometimes, in the after hours, I don't really want to be looking at a computer. And then I have that conflict, the same conflict that you have, the same conflict that my friend has, the same conflict that other people have is, well, shouldn't I be doing something? Shouldn't I be working on my dream side gig or whatever, or my hobby or my new job, or making life better for myself somehow, or my kids or my dog or my spouse? But the truth is sometimes we just don't want to do that. And I'm the same as you. Sometimes I don't even want to turn to this. I have 4 monitors in my office. I have 2 monitors for my day job and 2 monitors for my dream job. And sometimes I don't want to look at any of them. Sometimes I just want to go in the pool, which I'm blessed and grateful to have. Sometimes I just want to sit outside on my front porch and just listen to the neighborhood. Sometimes I just want to read a book or do a puzzle. I've been trying to do some meditation because sometimes I just want to shut it all off. So for those of you out there who think that people like me don't shut it off, that we are constantly going and we somehow figure it all out, we don't. I don't figure it all out. I do podcasts like once a month because I just sometimes don't have the mental energy. And that's okay. That's the message of this podcast is it's okay. It's okay for you to not be perfect. It's okay and normal for you to not be able to do it all, to not be making it all happen immediately, right now, here and now. It's taking too long. You're not getting enough done. You're not finding the time. That's okay. That's okay. Because in the end, it's all about you taking care of you. And as much as I would love to spend every free minute working on something that maybe long-term will provide something that makes me happy now, like writing, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Nobody can. So the next time you see those people out there and you think, oh God, how does she do it all? Or how does he do it all? It's a pretty good chance that they're not doing it all. And it's just a perception. And I'm not trying to be fake about it. I'm not going out to the world and trying to pretend like I do it all. It's just a perception. People see me doing videos and they see me on social media and promoting my book here and there. But a lot of that, I reuse a lot of stuff. I schedule a lot of stuff ahead of time if I have a pocket of time so that stuff can go out and I don't have to worry about it. And then I'll have a gap and then no one will, I mean, I could go on. And, really the biggest thing for me is I don't have it all. And sometimes I just don't fucking care. The older I get, the less fucks I have to give. I have 0 right now. So I'm kind of going into the negative, if truth be told. But anyway, I hope this helps somebody out there who's thinking I should be doing more. I'm not as successful as I think I should be. I haven't done as much as I think I should. And I look at these people around me and I think that I am somehow lacking in comparison to them. Stop that comparison. Stop doing that. You're doing fine. You're surviving. If you're just surviving, you're doing fine. You're surviving. You're finding ways to be more aware of yourself, and you're trying to take care of yourself and promoting your own self-care as much as you possibly can. That's all you need to do right now. And sometimes it's okay to sit in your bed and pull the covers over your head and just be. It really is. Well, thank you, folks. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know how you struggle with your inner voice and feeling like you're just not living up to par with the people that you see around you in your world or on social media. I'd love to know. Reach out. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Of course, again, go to my YouTube page, subscribe and like, please. But you can leave me a comment there. Otherwise, never, ever forget, no matter how overwhelming your life is and how much you think you are inadequate in completing what you think you're supposed to be completing, you are still a fucking badass. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, including that voice in your head. Take it easy. Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by Cafe Grit, where the moxie is fresh, the passion cold brewed, and everything is served with a heaping side of mojo. For more Cafe Grit episodes, please check out bethannecampbell.com/cafegrit. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving it a rating or review on YouTube, Buzzsprout, or your favorite streaming platform. I'll be forever grateful, and in return, I'll wish upon you copious amounts of bacon, your favorite hot beverage, and of course, pie. I'd love to connect and hear about your grit experiences as well. Please go to bethannecampbell.com for links to all my social media. Cafe Grit is a product of Beth Anne Campbell, LLC, all rights reserved. Thanks again, and remember, you are a badass. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Take it easy.